Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is your fave tarot mother and back with another episode of Astro Tea of what's happening celestially. I don't know if you just heard my shoulder pop, but anyway, quick update or reminder really. If you want to catch these astrological forecasts, they are available on YouTube and podcast format. Yes. Okay, sorry. So this upcoming week, we're going to be taking a look at February 10th through the 17th. I'm also going to fit in a transit that's happening on the 18th as well, because you might as well. It's right there. So first up, we have Mercury re-entering the sign of Aquarius. So if you have been kind of keeping track of what's been going up, astrologically, you know that Mercury was in retrograde. It went all the way back to Capricorn and now it's coming back to Aquarius on the 14th. So it's fairly interesting that it's happening on Valentine's Day, so which it makes me think of like Mercury and Aquarius are not the most like loving signs. They are very cerebral, especially Aquarius. So I feel as though Valentine's Day, the focus is going to be more so on anything outside of lust and attraction, you know, because I feel like even for me, I am a sapiosexual, so it's like I find a lot of pleasure when I can have like really dope conversations with people, and I feel like that's what's going to be happening for everyone since Mercury is going to be in this sign of Aquarius, which is all about the mind thinking, you know, but on a more collective level. So I feel like it's just like we're all going to be in this place where we're going to be like just trying to get to know each other on a different level than sexual, because I feel like that's typically the vibe of Valentine's Day. Not saying that's for everybody, but that's what it's giving. So I do feel as though we will be receiving a lot of new ideas during this time. And so since Mercury and Aquarius are both kind of rule the mind and the intellect, I think that we might have some really innovative ideas, and I think it's going to be really amazing to see what kind of comes up, and then later on how we can kind of strengthen those ideas and see what happens on the physical realm when we start to put, you know, things together. And I think that we're also going to be in a place where we're going to be very aware of where we invest our emotions. Like I said before, Mercury and Aquarius are not very emotional energies, so it's like we're going to be looking at our emotions and how we invest our time and energy from a more rational standpoint. And I think that'll be really great, you know, moving forward, especially when Mercury goes into Pisces, which is very emotional sign. Mercury actually has a hard time in Pisces because like Mercury is air and it's constantly moving, but with Pisces and the ocean, it's like a lot of intensity kind of coming in all at once. So it's kind of hard to like rationalize through all of those different emotions. So I think now it's like make sure that you try to take the time to figure out where you're spending your energy, how you can kind of cut those things out if they are affecting you negatively, and then move forward. And then on the 16th, we have a full moon in Leo, which I think is going to be really special because, you know, with full moons, because it's like during the day we have the sun, which also rules Leo, and, you know, everything is out in the open. But at night, the moon is bright and big and bold. So it's like there's nothing that can hide in the shadows. So I'm feeling as though we're going to be in this place where like we're going to be able to discover more of our strengths and weaknesses and become a little bit more aware of how to execute those without feeling I'm hearing incomplete. That's what I'm hearing, because I feel like a lot of times we kind of segment aspects of ourselves off because we feel as though maybe like a weakness is terrible and everything, but it's like your weaknesses are something that you can strengthen if you give it the time of day, you know, if you kind of put in that effort. And I feel like this is going to be a very interactive and energetic full moon as well, because that's very Leo energy. If you ever met a Leo, they're pretty intense, but in a good way. But yeah, and I also think that spend some time reflecting on different blessings that have manifested for you, and then show a lot of gratitude, because when you show gratitude for what you already have, your guides give you more of that energy, because it's like the energy that you give off, or the things that you focus on, your guides give you more of that. So it's like you want to make sure you're putting your energy in the right direction, or radiating the right energy, I should say. I don't know. Okay, so last thing we have on the 18th is the sun enters Pisces. So I feel like this is going to be a very like humanitarian, compassionate, spiritual, creative 4 weeks for us, because Pisces is very creative, and like Prince is a Pisces, Rihanna is a Pisces. Who else is a Pisces? Timberland is a Pisces. So I think that if you have a creative idea, do whatever you can to write those ideas down, see how you can implement them in whatever way you feel necessary. And I also feel as though Pisces, again, is like the ocean, and it's vast. And also Pisces are known for kind of absorbing other people's energy. So I think moments of solitude will be really beneficial to kind of make sure that you can navigate a lot of the external information that's happening, but also navigate your own emotions as well, you know, and also to kind of make sure that you're not taking on other people's problems. Pisces tend to do that, which is not the healthiest thing to do, but that should be, you know, because they're so compassionate, and it is what it is. But you do have to kind of keep in mind of like areas that, or situations or people or whatever that don't mean you no good, and you need to figure out what you need to do about that, because that's the thing about, you know, if you're a very compassionate and empathetic person, people tend to kind of take advantage of that, unfortunately. So keep that in mind. And yeah, I think that during this time, in bringing up compassion again, I feel like there's going to be specific aspects of ourselves that we're going to be very compassionate with, you know, especially with, you know, things that we may have done in the past, and just kind of realizing that like we were a completely different person back then, and it's like we can't continue we can't continue to make moves based on the past, because it's like that's going to create stagnation. And it's like you have to remember that you can create your own future if you release the past, but also learn, you know, pay attention to those lessons that you did learn in the past. That's really all it's for, is just paying attention to the lessons that you learned, and then keep it pushing. Okay, so we have, I haven't used this deck in a minute, and it's so pretty. Okay, so we have 7 of Wands, 3 of Wands, and 3 of 7 of Wands, 3 of Wands, and 3 of Cups. And then we have 7 of Cups, Page of Cups, and then 6 of Pentacles. So that's 7 of Cups, Page of Cups, and 7 of Pentacles. And then last one is the 8 of Cups. So, like I was saying before, I think that we might even find that with the Aquarius energy specifically, We could be collaborating with others more. But, you know, that's up to you. I really do feel as though we're going to be in a space where we're going to collaborate more often, especially with the Mercury in Aquarius, because Aquarius is all about collaboration and networking. And then we have Pisces as well, which Pisces is typically a very social sign for the most part. At least going based off personal experience. Like Pisces, like a Pisces woman specifically, because that's who I've engaged with the most. Like, they can make friends with anybody. Like, you're going to a club and you meet this girl in the bathroom and y'all are immediately friends. Like, that's very Pisces. And Pisces men are very much like that too. So anyway, I do feel as though we're going to be collaborating a lot with each other. And then we do have like the Seven of Wands. Like I said, you have to be careful with how you invest your time and energy, and also who you tell your ideas to is going to be really crucial as well. But again, you have to protect what's yours. Not saying that you need to completely close yourself off to the world, but just discernment. That's really it. But yeah, I really do feel like we're going to be collaborating. And don't be so terrified of collaborating, because I know that sometimes I feel like a lot of what I'm hearing is there is a lot of trauma around trust. And I feel as though we keep forgetting, or we've been in this state where we feel like we can't trust anyone, sometimes even ourselves. And it's important for us to remember that, like, that's not true. Yeah. That's not true, and we're very social creatures, you know, for the most part. You know, even someone who is introverted is still enjoys having some sort of connection with someone else, you know. And then we have the Three of Wands. Don't be afraid to expand. You know, Pisces is very much that energy. Very much that energy. You know, it's like, don't be again, it's just like share your gifts. You know, it's a complete, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's a complete waste to have these amazing gifts and you don't share them, or you don't try to strengthen them because of something that happened in the past. And again, I feel there could very well be a lot of trauma that is connected to your past, but you have to kind of take everything at one step at a time. Work at your own pace. But I do think that the momentum that you'll be feeling is to just really just do your thing, full, like Leo is ruled by the sun. It's just like, express yourself. It's like you're killing that aspect of yourself because of something that happened in the past, and that's not fair to you. And then it's like, when you think of like the broader scale of, if you whenever you reincarnate, you're going to be going through these same issues, because you're like, the fear of expressing yourself is limiting you in more ways than one, more ways than in this lifetime that you can possibly comprehend. And like, it's just oof. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of ideas that are coming through that's going to be like, some are going to be sometimes Aquarius can be a little manipulative, especially when it comes down to I'm hearing verbally and mentally manipulative. All right, that's it. But, and it may not be you per se, it could be someone else in your life, which is why we have the Seven of Wands, where he's like fighting off these crocodiles. But it also could be, I'm hearing a few different things. One, it's like you could be sabotaging your own growth. Two, there could be situations where your intuition is telling you not to do it, or to do it. You know, again, you have to use your discernment. If it feels like joyous and love and expansion, go for it. But if it feels almost like you can't breathe and like suffocating, then you might not want to do that. And so I feel like there's going to be a lot of different things coming through to you that your guides are trying to give you. But again, you have to, either you do it or you don't. And I feel like if you don't, it's something that you're going to either, I'm hearing regret. And I feel like you will get past that regret and anxiety when you finally just go after what the fuck you want to go after. And then we do have the Six of Pentacles. You know, again, bringing it back to Pisces and how it is compassionate. It's if someone is not reciprocating the energy that you are giving to them, don't waste your time. You know, I do think that it is worth expressing how you feel about the situation. And if they are completely not willing to work with you, and if they're just not willing to work with you and kind of investigate the situation further and see how things need to change and evolve, then you need to kind of rethink that relationship or that situation, or even if it's like a physical thing as well, because again, it's not worth it, you know. And then we have the Page of Cups, which is someone who I feel like a lot of us are just going on this new an amazing journey on rediscovering certain aspects of ourselves, especially in the emotional realm, because I do feel like there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up during these last transits, or during these next transits, especially with the full moon, because full moons are all about release. So there could be a lot of emotional release coming forward, showing you areas of your life where you have been stagnant, especially on an emotional level. And then with the energy of Pisces, just showing you that there's certain areas of you that needs a little bit of TLC. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is just like surrendering to what you feel, surrendering to what you have to let go, and surrendering to what you have to embrace. And I think once we kind of get into that phase of doing what's truly right for us, it's going to be, I truly feel like it's going to be magical. But again, you have to take those steps. You have to put forth that effort, because again, I'm gonna say this all the time, you are worth every single thing that your heart desires. If people cannot reciprocate, or situations cannot reciprocate what you need, then they do not deserve you, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's just like a lot of people don't know how to reciprocate, to be real. A lot of people don't know how to reciprocate, and a lot of people don't know how to have a healthy, loving connection. You know, and I mentioned this before, like with the Mercury entering or re-entering Aquarius on Valentine's Day, I feel like that's going to really I feel two things. I feel like it's either going to strengthen relationships, or people are going to end up breaking up, one or the other. And I know even with what was it, 2020? Yeah, because a lot of people were locked up in the house with their significant other, and there was a lot of divorces and a lot of breakups. So I feel like that's the vibe that we're kind of getting into this time around, because it's like, I don't know what we have in common. Like you both at the dinner table, like, and I truly think that's okay, you know. And I've met some Pisces, and typically again, I'm not trying to shame or judge anything, you know, a lot of water signs, you know, I ain't gonna say water signs, but a lot of people stay in situations longer than they should. Again, I don't believe you should feel any shame or guilt. It's just like, you didn't know any better, and that's just kind of how it is. But I do know I've met quite a few Pisces that have stayed in connections longer than they should have. And I feel like this Mercury in Aquarius is really going to show you, again, where have you been investing your emotions, your energy, all of that for far too long. Like, it's just and then we have Garnet. If you watch Steven Universe, this makes complete sense, but Garnet is the crystal of passion and love. I'm a huge Steven Universe stan, so conversation for another time. But ignite your passion. Again, if you are passionate about something that if it's creative wise, and again, I think people people think that when I mean creative endeavors, that means painting and drawing and things of that nature. It far exceeds that. Again, creativity in art is so expansive, because you have people like say and even in the art world, you have people who can do very realistic paintings, and then you have individuals like Basquiat who, again, it's a little bit, I don't remember his sign. He might be Aquarius. His art is a little bit more cerebral, where he kind of has these interesting conversations with the viewer about what he's feeling and what's kind of going on in his surroundings at the time. But the images are very like, I hope I'm not trying to sound mean, but it's very like cartoon like and very sketchy, as far as like the way that everything's drawn and painted. But even outside of the art realm, if you are, say, a barber, if you are a film director, if you are a nail technician, like whatever you do that's creative in the sense that it's something that you're really passionate about and gives you joy, and it's going to be benefiting not just you but everyone around you. Not saying that's your responsibility, but you never know how your art is going to change things, outside of you. That is something that you need to focus on. That is something that you need to hone in on, especially over the next 4 weeks when the sun enters Pisces, because it's just like, it's going to really illuminate all of these different aspects that you have, I'm hearing, suppressed. Yeah. And even, doing shadow work would be really beneficial during this time. Like, say for instance, this is for me, like, I was very talkative as a child. Plot twist, I know. But I was very talkative as a child, and then because of certain teachers that I had, they kind of, stamped that out of me. With different things like medication, or putting me in a different class in order to be separate from the group. And instead of building me up, they tore me down. And so it took me years to kind of get to this place where I felt more confident in my abilities and where I am now. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are. It's like you have to rediscover those areas of yourself that you have suppressed because of external like negative affirmations or negative things that people have said to you. You have to because it's like, you might be a very confident person, but you have been taught that there's something wrong with being that confident, and there's nothing wrong with being confident. Of course there's a difference between being confident and egotistical, but that's just, but again, it's like I just really feel like collectively we're going to be in this place where we're going to be uncovering a lot of different, because Pisces also rules the subconscious. Same thing with the moon as well. There's a lot of things that are going to be coming to the surface that I really want people to take note of. And I just really want people to embrace their authentic selves. And then we have Labradorite, see the magic. Yeah, and Labradorite is a very, it enhances your psychic abilities, or abilities that you probably never really thought that you had. And that's very Pisces as well. And it's like, I want people, I know that you can create and make money from your creations, but I also want people to get in this place where they create just to create, because I feel like every single time an artist creates to make money, they lose a lot of themselves in the money aspect. And I feel like that's where people kind of get lost, and people kind of almost like forget themselves or forget why they started to create in the first place. And it's like their work is not as strong and as intense, and there's not so much passion that's infused in their work. Again, I just feel like a barber is the same way. There's the artistry in barber. I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm sorry. The artistry in being a barber is mind-blowing to me. And even someone who designs a website, someone who is an architect, someone who designs clothes or creates a pattern, or just putting your own outfit together is crazy. You know, there's so much to it. It's just even like decorating your home, you know, it's just a lot to it. And it doesn't even have to be super aesthetic. It could simply be something like, I like, you know, like to some people, and even myself, organizing things is very aesthetically pleasing, and it's a very creative way of doing things for me, like organizing things, because it just looks so nice and neat, you know. Especially, it's just, anyway. We have appetite. Get out of your comfort zone. Exactly. We've been in this comfort zone of stagnancy. We've been in the comfort zone of limiting our own power to conform and to make sure that everyone else around us is comfortable. And to be real, we ain't got time for it. Because it's like, this is your life. Why are you living it in order to make other people comfortable? That's not your responsibility. Yeah, so get out of your comfort zones, try some new things, and I feel like a lot of you will be very surprised in what you do, you know. And as another example, I studied art for a very long time in college, but it was really difficult for me to kind of hop back into it. Like, I haven't done anything art related. It was like a 7-year span that I didn't do anything art related. And because I had teachers who could not get outside of their own comfort zone and see, it seemed like they were not willing to see my vision or willing to let me just see things through and experiment and just be me and see how things kind of fit together. Instead, they wanted to, again, stick with their own comfort zones. And if my vision did not match what they were doing, they kind of like brushed me to the side, you know. And it was very hurtful, because it's like, I'm so passionate about this stuff, and it's like, you're not even willing to see what I can bring to the table, you know. You're just ready to put me in a box and just forget about me. And so it took me a minute to really kind of get back to why I enjoyed art in the first place, and why I enjoyed just kind of being creative and just kind of doing me. And, you know, I definitely it's still a work in progress, but I'm much further along than I ever have been. And I've just been creating just to create. And it's truly been an amazing experience. And I feel like, again, you can create and you don't have to show anybody anything. But I think eventually you should. I think eventually you should when you're ready. And then also you can kind of really see your progress, you know, outside of, you could just see your progress, you know. And also, if people kind of critique your work, it's like, again, they are viewing your work from a completely different standpoint, you know. There's so many different ways that things will be perceived, but again, you never know who it's going to connect with, and other people that you might meet in, you know, in this inner exploration and finding new like-minded individuals to kind of collab with, and stuff like that. But the main thing, and I'm gonna get out of here, is I want people to collab. I want people to ignite your passion, you know, get out of your comfort zone and see the magic within yourself, because it's always been there. It's just suppressed, and you have to take the time to really, like, you know, unearth all of those things, you know, out of the subconscious mind. And, you know, these transits are going to help you do so. So if you start feeling these emotions kind of crop up, my best advice is to either get into therapy or find a life coach. Journaling, if, you know, journaling is easy, you know, that's something that you can just write out your emotions and let it just be out there. And you might even find out you're a fucking poet. You don't even know. You never know. It's just like, you know, again, you have to, it's so crazy that we spend all this time trying to be like others. And then it's like, we find out it's like, well, what does it mean to be me? So yeah, so good luck everybody, sending love and light and just a lot of creative energy, a lot of love and good health, because I don't know what's going on. So good luck. Bye.